Myself V.N.V.S. Money, Department of Commerce and Management. Today we are discussing about the GST 5th unit. That is the payment of GST online. Once check the previous unit 1, 2, 3, 4. All the units are very most important. This is the last unit for the 5th semester. So payment of GST online. In that the total contents are payment mode of GST, electronic filing of GST returns, refund penalties, administrative structure of GST officers, powers and jurisdictions. All these topics are all these contents are covered into the 5th unit. Coming to introduction GST payment. Whatever we have learned from GST, that is a company creation procedures, voucher entries and filing procedure, all these process was finally paying of the tax to the government. So GST is the one of the biggest resource to the government by getting money, funds, by rotating the different streams. So that kind of payment, how to mode, the payment mode is a different ways, offline mode or online mode. How to pay in a electronic filing, that is online mode. There is some particular points of online filing of GST returns. Normally GST return is a type of form the taxpayer has to file. There are around 22 types of GST forms are available. In the 22 GST forms, only 11 that are active. 8 only view only. We can't able to edit anything. And 3 suspended. So total 22, 11 is are active, 8 is only viewable and 3 is suspended. And remaining files are used to online mode by paying of some simple steps. So who are able to pay the tax? There are different types of taxpayers are available, ma'am. Particularly we are discussing about the 7 types of taxpayer. That is a regular taxpayer, composition taxable person, TDS deductors, non-resident taxpayers, input service distributors, casual taxable persons, e-commerce operators. All these 7 kinds of operators are need to file the returns in monthly, quarterly or annually. Definitely they need to file the returns and paying of the tax to the government. In any particular month is not available of any transaction. Also they need to file zero returns. But whenever if you are forgotten to file the zero returns also, it is considered as a penalty. Then what is the procedure to filing GST returns? What are the procedures and what are the steps we are involved into the procedure? Filing of GST returns. We are already this kind of information discussed in the 4th unit, the payment of payment or the procedure in file. Here particularly we are discussing of the payment also. First one, visit the official government site of GST. That is none other than www.gst.gov.in. After enter into the GST address, then the automatic GST portal will be displayed. After displaying the GST portal, already if you are registered, then you will have some number of GST UIN number you have. GST number you have available. If you are not registered, you are selecting the login or registered. Then enter the details of your PAN card and business and related taxes references. Everything automatically the UIN number of the GST number created. After creating the GST number, you need to mention the outward supplies and inward returns and the cumulative monthly returns. All errors can be rectified. So that is a GSTR 1, 2, 3B. All these details are mentioned in clearly in monthly wise. If you are giving the details in a quarterly wise, then file the GST related quarterly filings. Then after that finishing of all the gathering information of the outward supplies and inwards details and returns everything, then finally press the filing of the returns, submitting of the returns. Then pressing of the submitting of the returns, then you will get the payment option. That is, the chalana is raised against the payment of your whatever the amount is summarized. The payment just accepted the payment option. Press the way of paying amount like credit card or any online NEFT RTGS mode. After filling of the pressing and mention the details and OTP, the payment is rotated to the government. The procedure of filing is very easy and the payment also very simple by using of the online mode. Situations that can be lead to refund claims. Sometimes we are paying to the government of the particular amount. Some situations that particular bills are cancelled. Some credit bills are not realized, but we are paying the tax to the government. In particular cases, we need some refund option from the government also. Like input tax also, whenever if you have a excess, no need to pay the next month. Then at that time also you need to get the refund from the government. Normally in a refund, the procedure is to be exports of commodities or service, any particular deemed exports, refund of tax when embassies make purchases, suppliers to develop and units to special economic zone. Some of the special status given states or special status given places, when they are collecting the tax, they are refunded the amount. And also refund of tax when embassies make purchases, already discussed that. Excess payment because of an error. By mistakenly we are entering the bill amount instead of the 1,000, you are mentioned 10,000. So automatically the calculation of the 18% or whatever the percent they are generated. After that you are realized the bill amount is only 1,000, but you are entered 10,000. That amount you should claim for refund. Then refund of any SGST or CGST paid by considering supplies of for example, now I have an input tax credit of 1,000 rupees, but previously that example we are used for the 1,000 rupees for sales related invoice, that is a tax, and purchase related invoice is 800 and 200 paid to the government. Now I have a 1,000 rupees for sales related invoice and 1,500 rupees related to purchases. Now I no need to paying of the government tax, because 500 rupees sufficiently have a input tax. That 500 should be used for next month. Like that, the next month if there is no transaction, you can need to claim for the government for 500 rupees for input tax returns, like reverse charge mechanism, whatever as per their availability. Next, common and offense under GST under their penalties. Whenever if you are forgotten to pay the tax or any delay of the tax, or if there is any custarding, then it is a punishable, like penalties penalized. Whatever the amount you have to pay penalty for the government means for different times different clauses is there. Here when you are looking that here particularly pending in delay in filing GSTR, when there is any delay of the GST returns, 100 rupees per day is a fine. 100 rupees, the late fee is 100 rupees per day per act. So it is 100 rupees CGST and 100 rupees SGST. Total amount 200 rupees per day, or maximum amount is 5,000 rupees. There is no late fee in IGST. IGST there is no late fee, only CGST, SGST, the amount of 200 rupees distributed. In case of penalty of not filing GST returns, previously delay, this one as not paying or not calculating any returns, then there is a penalty for 10% of the tax due. Whatever the amount you have to pay the tax due, in that 10% is the penalty, or maximum amount 10,000. It is the whichever is higher is applicable. Then penalty for committing a fraud. When you want to committed any custarding or any fraud, It is a big punishable. So the penalty is also 100% on the tax due or maximum amount 10,000, whichever is the higher value. So for example, today this month I need to pay the 15,000 rupees tax, but there is some committed fraud is there in the particular preparation. It is approved. You need to pay the 100% of tax or maximum 10,000. Here the tax value is 15,000, whichever is the high. Now I am paying the government 15,000 excess amount. Normally 15,000 and extra amount penalty 15,000. I need to pay the government. Next, penalty for helping a person to committed fraud. First one is the committed a fraud particular task. Next one is a committed to helping for committing of the fraud. For example, there is no real purchases, but without having purchases also, some kind of sellers given opportunity to take an input tax on purchase wise. This is also a fraud. For under this kind of transaction, there is a penalty for 25,000 rupees. That is a penalty for 25,000 rupees. And next, penalty for opting composition scheme even though he is not eligible. Normally, the threshold limit, there is a particular composition dealer, whatever they have a composition dealer threshold limited is crossed. But even though they are paying all the taxes and composition only, that is also fraud. That is also fraud in a committed or without committed. That is, they have some different cases. They need to file the penalty to the government. That is a personal wrongly charging GST rate. That means for getting of the more benefit, whatever the products you have 5%, you are collecting the tax from the public 18%. That is a wrong tax rate. That is also punishable for the penalty. That is also penalty applicable. Then penalty incorrect invoicing. Incorrect invoicing, automatically when you are using the wrong rate, GST rate and taxable amount wrong manually you are entered. All these also punishable. That is the amount is 25,000 rupees. Penalty for that 25,000 rupees. Next, this is the penalties and the fraud. Some of the penalties, they are punishable for jail punishment also. If they are committed in with a mentally or committedly, then there is a with a crores of amount losses to the government. They are imposing the penalty for the penalty for jail punishment also sometimes, along with the amount. Last slide and the last but not least, very important, is the power of GST officers. What kind of powers GST officers are available? Means whenever they are electing as a powers GST officers, normally we are discussing about the GST council. There is a chairperson of the central government finance minister, and there is a members in the GST council is the every state finance ministers. So in particular GST council or their authorities are some of them elected as a officers. In GST officers, there have some certain limits and powers, like go to visit and inspection of any office. Power of inspection. Power of inspection means without any information given to the vendor, directly they have a writing and check the details of all the accounts, physically verifying the stock, everything. There is a right to the GST officer for inspecting. Next, power of search and seize. So after inspection, searching in all the where, whenever if you feel it's an inconvenient or any fraud or any misdeeds, then automatically seize the business or company. There is a power to seize also. Then third, power to arrest. After inspection or searching, seizing, when you are not satisfied with the given punishment, then propose to the particular administrators or any officials to arrest the particular vendor or owner. Then power to someone person to give evidence and produce documents. There is any particular case or case is going to into the court, or any legally there are any requirement of any documents. GST officer officially verifying all the details and procedures, they need to submit the document related proofs also. Power to access business premises, and auditor whatever they have some kinds of visitings like that, GST officers also have a right to visit anywhere of the business premises without having permission of the owner. So power to impose penalty. Uh, Previously we are discussing the different kinds of penalty like delay, custodians, frauds, committed frauds, unnecessary frauds, the threshold, changing of the threshold limits, changing of the GST rates, all these whatever they are finding, then they are given a some kind of penalty through like a cash penalty, or in terms of finance, or any times of jail. Last one, power to collect the statistics. Means whenever if you want to check the different aspects of the strength and weakness and the committed details of financial history, they need to collect the accounts clearly from the authorities. No problem to verifying the all the accounts, all the statistics. You have a chance to check and verify and submit the sumoto report to the government. All these officers have some wonderful futures and powers to the GST officers while verifying the any officers or businessmen. So these are all about GST officers powers and penalties and the refund procedures. At the same time, procedure of filing GST returns, electronic filing procedure, and finally GST payment. All these contents are covered in Unit 5. This is the completion of the session. Thank you so much.